15 of the 19 hijackers on 9/11 were Saudi nationals, as was Osama bin Laden. Former Senator Bob Graham led the congressional inquiry into 9/11. 28 pages of his committee's report remain classified. We spoke to him to find out why.
Who specifically does the report implicate?
I can't answer that question since the report is still classified. I can say that there appeared to be evidence that Saudi interest, including government interest, were providing financial and other support to at least some and possibly to all of the 19 hijackers who were in the United States. This very important part of our final report has been withheld now for 13 years. And it is time you and any other interested person would be able to read and form your own judgment as to what this means in terms of the U.S.-Saudi relationship.
The United States spends about $50 billion a year on Saudi oil, but that doesn't necessarily buy their loyalty. In late 2009, a leaked classified cable signed by then Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said that it has been an ongoing challenge to persuade Saudi officials to treat terrorist financing emanating from Saudi Arabia as a strategic priority. Even more tellingly, it went on to say that donors in Saudi Arabia constitute the most significant source of funding to Sunni terrorist groups worldwide, and specifically named notorious extremist organizations like the Taliban, Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hamas, and Al-Qaeda, whose branch in Iraq spawned ISIS.
Do you think there is support for terrorism still coming from Saudi Arabia?
I think that they were influential in the establishment of what is now ISIS. Saudi Arabia is a symbol of everything we dislike in terms of a country: autocratic, brutal, willingness to keep its people under medieval subjugation. And the Saudi government continues to be the primary supporter of one of the most extreme sects of Islam, Wahhabism.
Wahhabism is an ultra-conservative form of Sunni Islam that calls for a very literal interpretation of the Quran and a strict enforcement of Sharia law, considering non-adherents to be infidels. It is the dominant form of Islam for both Saudi Arabia and ISIS.
Wahhabism actually has two distinct strands. You have the strand that we observe with ISIS, right, which is this kind of world-shattering idea that we need to destroy regimes that do not perfectly follow our vision of Islam, and we need to erect a caliphate, an Islamic state. And they rely on the same kind of text that the Saudi regime relies on. The Saudi regime's version of Wahhabism shares a lot with that, but they believe that as long as the ruler is allowing you to practice Islam, upholds the prayer, upholds these basic tenets of Islam, it is forbidden to rebel against him. And these different faces of Wahhabism have been promoted by the regime at different times. For example, during the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, the Saudis were actively promoting this idea that it is incumbent upon young men to go and wage jihad against the Soviets in Afghanistan.
المسلمين أن يحيي الجهاد والتضحية والمقاومة في العراق ضد المحتلين وأن يمزقهم وأن ينصرنا عليهم.
Wahhabi clerics in Saudi Arabia made the same public appeal for jihad in the aftermath of the US occupations of Iraq and Afghanistan, but this time against Americans.
كيف تدعوننا إلى إلغاء صراع الحضارات وأمريكا تبطش بالمسلمين في العراق وفي أفغانستان وفي مشارق الأرض ومغاربها.
الشباب السعودي شباب متميز، شباب مضحي، تواق إلى الجهاد. خذ الآن في العراق من أكثر الشباب؟ أليسهم الشباب السعودي؟
It appears these calls have not fallen on deaf ears. Saudi nationals have consistently been the largest group of foreign fighters joining Al-Qaeda's efforts in Iraq since the beginning of the war in 2003. Despite the official party line, the facts tell another story. Saudis spend about $2.5 billion every year to promote Wahhabism, and more Saudi nationals have joined ISIS than almost any other foreign country. And groups like ISIS are becoming even more adept at bringing new recruits down this one-way street.
وإن أردتم موعود الله فجاهدوا في سبيل الله.
The Saudi government is even having trouble controlling its own religious leaders. Shortly before his death in January, King Abdullah scolded his senior clerics for not speaking out against ISIS.
ترى فيكم كسل وفيكم صمت وفيكم أمر ما هو واجب عليكم.
As a new Saudi king takes the throne, the classified content of the 9/11 report looms large over the U.S.-Saudi relationship.
The 28 pages are going to come out. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And when it does, it's going to require our government to reevaluate its relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Is Saudi Arabia a friend of America's?
No. If you can describe a friend as a country which has facilitated the most horrific attack against the United States since at least Pearl Harbor, it's a country which has been at the center of the continued support for new entities that are advancing the cause of jihadism. ISIS is a symptom. We have the ability to destroy ISIS, but if that's all we do, and we don't deal with the cause, the core, the source of ISIS strength, then we can expect another organization under a different name, but with the same motivations to take its place.
All right, everyone stay calm. We may be in Saudi Arabia, but that doesn't mean we have to panic or blame your mother. Just stay close so we don't leave ourselves open to an ambush.
Dad, that is so ignorant.
Hey, these people are extremists. That's not ignorance, that's fact. Quick, cover your mouths. That's how they enter your body to lay their eggs.